I don't know about you, but I thought it was a very strange affair when we had the President of the United States, President Trump, Donald J. Trump, over here, giving, of course, his eloquence as ever at the British press conference inside Chequers, the sort of, relaxing home of the current British Prime Minister. Although some people might say it's not particularly relaxing right now, of course, for Sir Keir Starmer. Things are falling apart at the rate of knots, and more importantly, a leadership challenge that basically means, chums, that he could be toppled by his own party. And this is only a year down the line when he famously said, this is a party of change. Certainly is, and he might be part of the change because he can't keep up with the people leaving or falling apart. And even the ones that have left are now basically trying to stab him in the back. It's incredible, isn't it, the world of politics? And they say gypsy and the musical things like that. Well, that doesn't happen in show business, happens everywhere, let me tell you. But there was one particular thing that really upset the current British Prime Minister, and it was this. At that conference, and seemingly the friendship may be cooler than ever. Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time today, and welcome one and all brand new subscribers. Sir Keir Starmer, you might say, looks something like the spitting image puppet when he stood next alongside the eloquence, if you like, of the current President of the United States, President Trump. You see, President Trump was, riding on a high, let's be honest. He'd had a wonderful time out at Windsor Castle, hosted by His Majesty the King, and things were going incredibly well. No two ways about it, chums. Absolutely no two ways about it. Now, what was interesting, you see, and you have to remember this, is that a lot of people don't understand how things work in the game of politics. You will notice that one of the people invited at that particular event was none other than the media mogul that is Rupert Murdoch. And if you're across everything, you will also know that Mr. Murdoch is in a huge litigation problem with the President of the United States. Oh yes, why would you invite them? Well, actually, he didn't. As we know, he didn't invite Sadiq Khan. But the thing is, Sir Keir Starmer did invite the media mogul Rupert Murdoch. And this is simply because he needs the backing of all of the newspapers and the media empire that Mr. Murdoch has, including, with full transparency, from the time, of course, working for Fox News, as which I do. Now, where this gets interesting, you see, is things weren't going well behind the scenes. As you could see, Keir Starmer was umming and ahhing, clutching the lectern like it was a life ring from the Titanic. And the bottom line was, it was just falling apart. Donald Trump very cleverly just raised eyebrows, looked smirky, and whatever was going wrong, and it was going badly wrong, well, it was all played out for the world to see. But it was this particular situation that turned things around for the worst, because Mr. Trump was asked by the gathered media, including myself, all about, of course, what was happening here in the United Kingdom, particularly with the migrant invasion. Mr. Trump, as you know, doesn't hold back, because the last time he told us that he basically couldn't stand the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, and he was a nasty person who was running London into the ground. And even though Keir Starmer very quickly tried to jump in and say, he's a friend of mine, well, President Trump batted him away like some old floor cloth, wasn't interested. Now, this time around, Sir Keir Starmer was hoping that wasn't going to be, the same thing again. How mistaken was he? Because Mr. Trump very clearly pointed out that we needed to get a grip of the migration problem and the illegals invading the country on a daily basis. On that particular day alone, 1,000 people invaded these shores illegally. And, what is Keir Starmer doing? Nothing. What should he do? Well, according to President Trump, get the military out there and get them pushed back and use some force, whatever force it takes. He proudly displayed that he'd solved the problem, more or less, over in the United States. While Keir battered on about the one in, one out, of course, the president looked completely disinterested, as most people were in the room and no doubt watching around the world. Behind the scenes, apparently Keir Starmer was near to tears, because once again he'd been made to look a fool on the world stage. And while they may say to each other, and this is the guise of what politics are like, right, chums? Oh, we've got a special relationship, we get on very well. You could see Keir Starmer patting Trump on the arm. Behind the scenes, everybody in the spin room, which is the room that has the media for the current party, the government, the Labour Party, everybody was putting their head in their hands, wondering how would they defuse such a diabolical and terrible situation now for the Prime Minister. And everybody now is asking Keir Starmer, when are we sending in the military? So with just a few words, President Trump has told us exactly how to solve the problem. The only problem is we don't have President Trump. Neil Sean in the very heart of the United Kingdom.